I ended a wanted pregnancy at 16 weeks, and I want to talk about all the factors that contributes to a family making the choice to terminate a wanted pregnancy. I do want to mention that I think some of it is value-based, and sometimes one particular value can supersede all the rest, and that does happen. So one of the major ones that I see is quality of life. Is there chronic pain? Will there be tremendous suffering? Is death inevitable? Is it a fatal diagnosis? When you're talking about the gray, is there significant mobility impairments or issues? Is there, severe mental retardation? Where is that? Are there going to be other things that you're going to see, autism spectrum and different things that, are also associated with this illness or disease? So quality of life. Another big one is family composition. So do you already have a living child? Do you have several living children? How will having a sick child change the quality of life for your living children? Maybe you don't have any living children. Will having a sick kid change your future dreams for however many children you want to have? Will that lessen, limit, anything like that? Financial is huge. Are you a single or double income household? If you are a double income household, does one spouse or one person's career have flexibility? Because oftentimes when you have a sick kids are in the hospital for long periods of time. And if they're not in the hospital for long periods of time, they do get sick a little bit more often. Childcare, you may not be able to bring them into daycare. You definitely are going to have a lot of specialists appointments, speech, OT, PT, all of those things. Sometimes, are you able to afford the additional therapies that either aren't covered by insurance, or like the equine therapy that definitely helps, but, people aren't paying for that. You are. Speaking of insurance, will your child qualify for like state aid and different things like that? If they don't, are you able to afford all of the, do you have good insurance? If you don't have good insurance or your insurance is really expensive, like, can you afford to meet your deductible every year? Because, you might be in the hospital a lot. Social supports. Do you have help? We know that families, so parents of disabled children, have higher rates of divorce. We know that bereaved parents have higher rates of divorce. So, it's really important that you have social supports. You have a community that are going to help you, that are going to, let you and your spouse go on date nights. If you have a living child, who's going to watch your kid while you're taking your sick kid or you're staying at the hospital with your other sick children? Who's going to help? Spousal partnership. What does your spouse think? How important is that person's opinion about all of this? Do you think you guys can handle the stress that might come with death or, suffering of your child and different things like that? How's access to your medical institutions? So, do you have specialists nearby? If you don't have specialists nearby, do you have the money to afford to get on the planes to see the specialists and spend some lengthy amount of time with them? Some medical institutions are way better than others. Do you live close by? Oftentimes, great medical institutions that, really sick kids need are in big cities. Are you close to a big city? How is that to access it? How's your mental health? Can you survive what's to come? Or what you don't know will come? Religion, spirituality. What is your religion? Where do they define life? Do you have spiritual leaders that are willing to have conversations with you and guide you one way or the other? How important is religion to you and their definition of life? Is it everything? Is it something to consider? Is it kind of, faith isn't that important of a value in your life? Can't believe I almost forgot this one, but if you and your spouse die, who's going to take care of your sick child? And if leaving that with your other children is like, is that a value of yours? Does that go against a value of yours as a parent or whatever? But that's a big one, is, the estate planning. God forbid something happened to you and your spouse while your sick child is still alive. Who's going to make medical decisions? Who's going to care for that person? An obvious one is mom's life in danger? Is carrying this pregnancy to term going to risk mom's life? And is that something someone is willing to do?